Hey everybody, welcome to the All Things Gratitude Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Dorsey, and today we have a friend of the show on, so this is great. She is the founder of Panna. God, I was going a different direction with that.
Wow.
I was going to go with first my Vab, then I was going to go with she is the founder and creator of Eric Knows, and then she is the founder of Panna Knows. So welcome to the show after I butchered that entrance. Kelly Robinson. Hey, Kelly.
Hey!
Blew that one up pretty bad, but
you know what? I got I'm working on a project with someone, and I got a contract today saying Kelly Robinson with Panda Knows, like panda.
Yeah, cool. So you can send them some Panda Express or something just for a little gift. So
no, that's okay. Listen, I'm one of 4 kids, so yeah. I go by. You can call me whatever you want. One of 4 kids. So I always had. My mom even said the dogs. It was like every name went in line, including the dogs. Just like it was just like, it came out of her like yelling. So
absolutely, our house we'd be called the dogs, the cats, the animals, because we had horses and stuff. And finally, she gets to one of our names after 5 kids.
Yeah,
the name. Like, I finally got it.
And you just answer. Like I just answer now. I'll answer to anything.
Absolutely.
So where do you stream? You're streaming on
LinkedIn and YouTube.
Both. Okay.
Yep.
And what about Facebook? You're not a Facebook?
Nope, not a Facebook person.
No.
Wasn't. I got rid of Facebook about a year ago. It was the best thing I ever did. So
yeah,
it took all the drama out of everything. So it was great.
So I didn't start Facebook until I got pregnant. So that was 11 years ago. So I started it because I was like, oh, now I have kind of things to share. Let me get on. So I held out for a few years. Everyone was on it much, sooner. And then when I got on it, it was like, it sucks you in so badly, I thought. And it's a lot of like people wanting you to think their life is perfect. And hi, Nick, or hi, Joe. See, there I
Hi, Joe. Yeah, it's all good.
It isn't perfect. It isn't perfect. So people put out there, hi, Nicole. I like that people can just kind of be real, So I got off Facebook too. It sucked me in too much. I couldn't do it.
Absolutely. So real quick, before we dive deep into anything, if we even go, whatever direction we go, tell a little people about Panna Knows and what Panna Knows does, because it's not your typical everyday recruiter. So like I thought it was when we first met, when I just threw you a resume and asked you if you could give me a job. That's how we kind of met.
What did I do? Did I help you at all?
Oh, you said, I'll put you in the portal and, I'll remember if something comes up. And then we connected really through Ira like about a week later. Then it was all good.
And then so I remember you were trying to get to Arizona.
Yes.
So I introduced you to Patrick, our friend Patrick. I just remember really liking the way that you approached me in LinkedIn. I thought really great way to reach out. Now what I do is when someone sends me the resume, because they do all the time, and I'm not that kind of recruiter. We'll get into that in a minute. But I always want to try to offer some kind of help. So I have a whole list of like, call our friend Curtis if you need a resume. Go to Project Help You go to Career Barn, go to I have all of these different things there.
It was really cool because you basically came back and you're just like, hey, it's not exactly what my company does, then you kind of explained a little bit what you do. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That's cool. And then we started talking about that. And I think that's where our friendship built and everything. It's because, you're upfront and honest with me. So I was like, cool, and then it was interesting. I was like, oh, I don't know too many recruiters to do what you do. So that really sparked an interest in me just to learn what Panna Knows does. And then I've asked you questions about the name of the company and everything. So all that's been a lot of fun too.
I remember when you did, because that's why I named it something interesting, because I wanted people to ask instead of like Kelly Recruiting Company, LLC. So I'll answer that actually, just in case anyone is wanting to know. So Panna, Panna, is an Indian Sanskrit language It stands for wisdom. And so wisdom means learning through experience. So Panna knows, wisdom knows, right? That's how we learn things. So I tried to be creative. People still always say Panna, and that's totally fine too. Some people don't even ask what it means, and then I get contracts saying Panda knows. So yeah, I don't know, but I do. You are right. So I'm not a. Curtis calls me a recruiter's recruiter. So a company, I work on behalf of a company to find them talent rather than finding talent a job, right? So a lot of recruiters are contingency recruiters. So they're paid to place people into jobs. So what they try to do is find the best candidates. And so they build pools, candidate pools of similar types of backgrounds. And then what they do is they'll try to sell them to the highest bidder. I have a database of, 10,000 Java developers with the skill set. And then the client says, sure, I'll give you a 25% fee. And then they go scramble to try people and try to push them in there. So it's a little bit different. I do the opposite. I work on behalf of the client. So my client is the employer. So they hire me to find specific skill sets. But really, all I do is I support a freaking awesome team like Nicole Goddard, who I think is on here, and the rest of my team so that they can, do their thing, because they do their thing and we are good. Nicole sent me a Slack and she said my hair looks good because she watched the process today.
It's high in humidity there, right? You're on the East Coast.
Thanks. Yeah. It's a little. She saw it when I first came out of the shower that wet this morning, and then she saw it finagled all day. So yeah, that's why she said that.
Awesome.
Anyway.
No, that's good stuff, Kelly. I mean, because it's really interesting what you do, and with conversations with you, the nice thing about what your company does and your team, you really get to build like relationships with the companies you're working for. So you get to learn their process inside and out, which makes it, I think, easier to recruit the right person to go there or find the right talent, I guess you would say, to go there, because, you can my company can just throw it out to any recruiter and say, hey, I need this certain person. Here's the job description. Find somebody. Well, are you actually getting the correct talent that you need for that company without knowing how the company actually works? So I love what you do. I love what your company does. That's just a great thing. So I think your results coming back to the company, the turnover rate's got to be low. It's got to be really high, just success rate and everything. So that's really cool.
It's much better. So when companies work with us like a partner, it feels like, so we might be charging them an upfront fee, and that's always hard for them because they're like, well, what's my guarantee? Well, they're not really a guarantee other than we have skin in the game and you have skin in the game, right? So we're accountable to deliver here. But we can get in and see a client's environment and talk to the people and really see who they are as their culture. That's really, really helpful because we can tell the story to the candidate and be real. So it's not about, I always tell my team and I always tell my clients, we screen out, not in. Meaning if I'm going to interview you, Nick, and you're missing some skills that are required for the job, traditional recruiters that are getting a fee will say to Mr. Hiring Manager, Nick's awesome, and they'll say, well, what about these skills? And they'll say, doesn't matter. They're just trying to squeeze you in, even if it's the right fit. We screen out. So we try to figure out a way to get you out of the process because that way we're ending up with the right people to put in front of the client. That's really important. Reputation's huge. I always tell my clients, I want one of two things. I either want you to give me more business or refer me. And if I don't do a good job and you don't feel supported by my company and by my team and me personally taking accountability, then you're not going to do either one of those things. At the end of the day, is that what we want?
I think it's big recruiters like you who go in, or your company, who go in and do that because, you can get some high end salary jobs. And, you know, and like I always say, anybody can BS a resume and BS an interview. You really can, because I mean, people are good at doing that stuff, you know? So I think, and a lot of the recruiters who are recruiting, like when people were recruiting me, I'd ask them questions and they had no clue about some of the stuff I was asking them. I'm like, well, this is not helping me. Can you give me some answers? And they're like, well, I'm like, so I'm asking you to do a little more work for your job because I'm moving 1,500 miles. I got to make sure this is the right fit for me, not for you because you're going to make a nice payday. This is about me, you know. So,
Right.
you know, and I would hardly ever get answers from a recruiting agency outside the company. Now, internal recruiters, obviously, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just nuts how many I would talk, and they had no clue about the people they were representing. They had no clue about the position. No, they just had a job description. They sent me a job description. I'm like, well, this is not exactly what we're looking for. I need more. What's the culture? What's this? What's that? What bonuses? What's, you know, everything? And they're just like,
No,
So-
I mean, so just to give you an idea of what contingency recruiting is like, and by the way, it's very, very hard, and those folks work really hard. Hi, Paula. They do. They work really hard because they have to, because it's a game. Hi, Ron. Ron, do you know, I was thinking about you when I was getting dressed for this, and because I worked out, and so I had to go and shower and get dressed. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is so wrong, the things that I'm saying right now. Ron's going to go, he's going to think it's funny. I'm saying I was thinking about him when I was showering and getting dressed. Okay. So anyway, I was thinking, should I just wear like sweatpants or something so I could like stand up or something and shower? Hi, Pete.
For people who don't know, this is a great little story that there's about 10 of us that were in on this little inside joke, and it's fantastic about pants, and it goes back, God, about what, 6 or 7 months. It's one of those jokes that just keeps giving. It's not going to end.
No.
It's kind of funny.
I think what's funny is we were talking about that before COVID. So we talked about it before COVID. Like now everyone does Zooms, and you can hear people saying like, I'm in my shorts, or I didn't know if I should wear pants, or like you can hear people joke about that now, but we talked about it before then because a lot of us were virtual and working kind of behind a screen at home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
That's good stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's funny. So now people talk about it all the time. But so anyway, with the contingency recruiting, what happens is it's a hard job. Like what they do is they call you, Mr. Hiring Manager, Nick, Mr. Hiring Manager, my name's Kelly. I see you have a job opening on a job board or on your website. You know, I have 5 project managers right now that are available in your location with the right rate, salary, whatever it is. Do you want to see them? And you'll say, yeah. And then they'll just send them over. Yeah. But they really didn't say too much to the candidate. They just said, can I present you to ABC Company? Mm-hmm. Because they have to make sure they're not presented somewhere else where they lose. So that's really it. But it's a race, man. I mean, like that's what they do all day long because they only get paid for what sticks.
You know, and absolutely. And, you know, I had some tell me, well, do you mind if I send you out to multiple companies? I'm like, no, I want to know about them before you send them to me. And they would just like get mad at me. And I'm like, well, we're not a good fit. And I just walk away, and then they get mad. I'm like, sorry. Yeah. I go, I'm the client here. I know you're somebody else's client, but I'm the client here. I need to be happy.
Yeah.
This is not just, you know, and you know my situation. I was very fortunate. I had a great job. I was in a very, very good situation, you know, so it took me 2 years to get a job down here, you know, before we finally moved, 1.5 years, 2 years. So, I mean, I took my time. I was very picky. And, you know, I made sure everything was right. And I know a lot of people don't have that, aren't fortunate enough to be in that situation. So I'm very, very happy. You know, I'm just glad that I was able to go through it like that. But yeah, it's like, you know, I'm in a position where I'm in an upper management position, you know, director/director position where, you know, and I'm moving 1,500 miles with my family. I had to make sure it was the right move in the right right situation, and
It's hard.
and even people, even if you're moving across the city, moving jobs for some people, it's a hard thing and it's a scary thing, and because those first couple days are just weird, sometimes and
And you came alone during COVID. You had a lot to do.
oh,
When you started
it was insane trying to sell a house in Washington right when COVID was like red hot up there. Then being in Arizona then for a month with my wife still in Washington trying to sell the house, trying to buy a house in Arizona. Then COVID hit red hot down here. So I went from one hot zone to another hot zone. And our house in Washington, I believe we sold it in like the next day or two. They stopped realtors from showing houses. So we sold it right at the right time. We came down here, we bought this house, and then Arizona's economy has been blowing up now in the last month and everything because we're all open and everything's going back. So the housing market's just blown up down here. So we bought it at a really good time, and we're like, yay! So it's like, wow. So I mean, everything aligned up, which was great, but God, it was such a stressful 2-month period. I mean, it really was. And I tried not to show it. I tried to, just do what I needed to do, but I wish nobody has to deal with that. I really do. I mean, that's
nice. Like our little group on LinkedIn, like our friends, it was really nice because you sent me pictures of the houses that you were looking at. Like I knew what you were doing. Like, I had virtual tours and stuff of the houses. Yeah. You sent me like the listing, so I got to see. And now you're building your pool, so we kind of all got to be a part of that to see.
Yeah, that. Everybody's been so cool that our little friendship group that we have are not pod, but friendship group. It's such a bad word, but they're great people, and we're so supportive of each other. And everybody was asking me, how's the house hunting going? What, when you start doing your backyard landscape, how's that going? And everybody just sends me just messages offline too and everything. And, big thing is, how's your new job? How's all that going? So, it's been really awesome. So, I mean, really happy for that. And then I get some great advice from all you guys. I mean, you've been great for it. Damon's been really good for me, on a lot of advice. I mean, and Curtis is just so laid back. Nice talking with him.
I saw him jump on
notches, and it's like,
I know. I love the group. Like, I think too, it might have been last weekend, and I've been a little MIA from LinkedIn, so I feel a little, hi, Curtis.
Speaking of him,
I feel a little, disconnected from all of you all. But like, you sent a note maybe last Saturday or something, like, hey, I'm just checking in. How are you? Or something. It was just really, it's nice. I've talked to Curtis a couple times. Like, it's just really nice that, like, just feels very genuine. We get to go on. I always try to get on Damon's round table on Thursday because I get to see a lot of people too. I know you can't do that because you're at work, but that's also a great place to just see everyone and just be able to say hi weekly, because these are now friends. So it's really, really nice. And I learn from them, and it's just awesome.
I think it's really important. I really try to text everybody if we don't talk in our group on LinkedIn. I try to get a hold of everybody every 2 or 3 weeks. Just, hey, what's up? How's it going? Just to keep it there, because you never know. Somebody could be having a bad day. That can help them out. Just all of a sudden that spark. It's like, hey, cool.
Yeah.
So I love just getting random messages from people that I really get along with every once in a while. It's just like, hey, thanks. And the thought is, hey, thanks for thinking of me. That's awesome.
Yeah. You know what? Curtis actually. Everyone knows I love Curtis. I feel like I always talk about Curtis. I just think he's such a soft, smart go-getter. I just love his messages in the morning. But we were talking, and I told him about something I felt like I was falling short on and procrastinating. And I was joking, and I said to him, hold me accountable. And then he did. And I wasn't really joking. I said it because it's not his job, but I was hoping he would. And he did. He texted me. He gave me time, like a week or two, and said, like, how you making out on that? And I really appreciated that. But Curtis, I still didn't do it, just so you know. So
Ron says the round table is a great training, but he's required to wear pants, so it turned it into a habit. I want to say hi to my friend. I did it. It's a long message. What's up, Kenneth? How's it going, man?
Yes, he is.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a great human being, man. Just great.
That's what he was saying about you, Nick.
What is that?
That's what he was saying about you.
I know. I said he's a great human being.
Yeah, that's
thank you. I appreciate that. It's really cool. So I want to say one of the things we had a lot of fun with when we first started networking with each other and everything, we had a little segment called Eric Knows. And that was so much fun. It was awesome. And I don't know, do we have a special guest in the house?
Hold on.
Oh, here it comes. Yeah, this is going to be great, everybody.
Good morning. I said, Eric, we're going to go on a show tonight. That show, remember those guys you talked to? He goes, what time? Like, he was very serious about it. Here he is.
What's up, Eric?
What's up?
How's it going?
Good.
Mr. Dorsey,
Good.
Mom's friend Nick.
That's cool.
You talked to Nick before. So last time you talked to Nick, and I think Batman was on the screen.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, gee. Oh, he was Batman, but who was he that day? Was it Mr. Incredible or Mr.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was.
I don't.
Costume and everything.
This
So,
stuff's really in my head.
So everybody out there who's watching, we got a lot of comments rolling here. So Kelly used to do this segment called Eric Knows, and what you would do is you would send in your professional questions, and she'd ask your son Eric, would ask him the question, and he'd give us an answer. So if somebody's got a question out there, throw it out there, because we got to get this going again, because we thought it was a lot of fun back then.
Yeah, we have to. He wants to do it too. We just have been forgetting, but we're going to get back to it. And now he's in virtual school, so it's like he's home all the time. Look
at all these people saying hi to you. Yeah.
Nicole, there's Nicole. He talks to Nicole every day. Yep, there's Nicole. He talks to her every day because we're on Zoom all day long working together.
My friend Rod.
Ron, these are all mommy's friends. Isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him today.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Do it.
No.
Come on, Eric. You're good.
No.
Do it.
No.
He's really been practicing a lot.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Okay. All right. He's embarrassed.
No problem.
I said to him today, what's the best thing about virtual school? What'd you say?
The best thing about virtual school is that you can enjoy it from the comfort of your home.
He just said that on his own. Okay. And what's the worst thing?
Probably that it's virtual and I don't actually get to be with my friends.
Yeah.
So, Eric, we have a question. How is your mom as a teacher?
She doesn't really help. It's mostly messaging teachers over Schoology.
Eric. So this is what this is Eric Knows. This is what it is.
Yep.
It's the real deal. No, I always tell people, like, he's very autonomous. He can work alone. He's very good, and he's very, like, resourceful, and he gets his stuff done. Do you
Eric knows.
Do not.
Virtual recess. You do not? Okay.
He's in middle school now, so there's no
Recess.
There's
anyway.
no recess. But he has something called advisory, which is like
Just study
hall. Do you guys remember having like study hall where you got to do homework or something? They call it advisory now because they have to change everything. So he does have that, which is different. And since he's at home, if he's done his homework, he can like do something else. He can walk away from the camera for a little.
Awesome.
It's kind of neat.
It's better than being there 8 hours a day.
Yo, I get that. But, at the same time, Eric, I mean, I hear a lot of people saying the one thing that is really hard about all this is missing their friends and being around their friends. So hopefully you get to do that one time. I mean, you can move out here to Arizona. They're in school, so they only went for.
Wait, you live in Arizona?
Yep, they only went to school. They only did homeschool for like a week, and then they went into school. So
already?
Well, they started, but they start school here early. I mean, when did they start?
Because of the heat.
They started in August, beginning of August. So
Eric's been to Arizona.
I have.
All right.
Dad's girlfriend took me.
Ah, nice.
For why?
Because she used to live there and she wanted to visit her
No,
friends.
you went for your cousin's wedding.
Oh, yeah, and we went there another time.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah, with Christy just to stay there for fun.
That's cool. Yeah, his cousin got married. So his dad's nieces got married and he got to go out. I've never been to Arizona.
Did you know?
Do you remember what part of Arizona you went to?
Do you remember?
Oh, we went around Phoenix.
Phoenix? Okay. That's by my office is by Phoenix. It's in Tempe. So I'm about, well, it depends. If I can go right across the freeway, I'm in Phoenix. It's
Did
across
you
the
live
street.
next to those? Actually, that's not a very good. I was about to say, do you live right next to those big mountains, like the 1,000-foot ones? And I was just like, you know what? That's not a very good representation because there's a lot of those.
So here's the funny thing. You say the 1,000-foot mountains there. I'm from Washington. These are little tiny molehills here. Washington has big mountains. Everybody's like the mountains. I'm like, what mountains? They're just like little humps in the ground here. But now it's really cool. So Eric, have you thought about what you want to do when you get older?
No, not at all.
Good, perfect. Don't yet. You're too young to think about that stuff.
Yeah, but what does everyone say you're gonna do?
Be a CEO. Literally every fortune teller has told us that.
And his teachers have always said he's gonna be some kind of leader, like an executive.
Well, that's good. Those are good goals to have when you're younger, but don't say what industry you're going in. Strive to be a leader.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you can figure out what you really like. Do you like stuff in science? Do you like stuff in history? Do you like mechanical? Do you like manufacturing? God, there's so many different ways to go.
Oh my God, Eric. He's like, someone asked the question in the chat. He's like running your show, Nick.
It's all good. Well, somebody asked if you want to be a Steelers fan, but you're out of, wrong part of Philadelphia or wrong part of Pennsylvania there, Rodney.
That's the other Pennsylvania team. So who does mommy like?
You like the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I don't watch football, so I have no clue.
We're working on him watching.
It's all good. So what do you watch?
On my Xbox.
You like your Xbox? Cool. Good stuff. What game are you playing right now? What's your favorite game right now with Xbox? Minecraft. Okay. Look at that.
He's good at that. It's very creative and fun, and he's always showing me the new stuff. Eric,
Really?
what do you think a leader is? How would you define a leader?
Leader is define a leader as someone in a group who tells the others how to
get in the camera.
So it's someone in a group who tells people how they should run the group to make sure they run it the best way possible.
Awesome. I like that. Good job.
That's good.
So our friend Ron thinks we should name the name of the podcast All Things Eric. So next podcast, Eric, would you like to come on and host it with me? So
what do you think?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay.
Or maybe he'll accept your offer.
See, Rodney's playing the Red Dead Redemption right now.
I don't know what that means.
What's that? That's a game?
I have no clue. I don't play video games. I just go with it. So I know what Minecraft is, but that's about it. So not too many video game consoles in our house, so.
Yeah, we only have, what do we have? Xbox and Switch, right?
No, Dad has like 50 gaming systems that are like old at his house.
So his
My dad
dad
has the very original Nintendo and the very first PS, like PlayStation.
Not the first one. That's like not, but yeah. But he pulled out apparently the old Nintendo. Remember, like the gray box.
Yeah. So my brother is an IT.
Not stop Mario. He hasn't stopped.
My brother is an IT dude. He owns an IT company, and then he's just a gamer. Him and his son. And when we moved down here, we found all the original Xboxes, the original Nintendos, all the games. None of them worked. Gave them to him. Every one of them are working now. He got them all up, fixed them all. He can do that stuff.
Cool.
He's just
I
crazy.
have a question.
Yes.
I like Ron Craig's comment. Make sure he pays you.
How he's reading the comments. I have my iPad.
Eric, one thing you got to learn is when you're dealing with Ron Craig, you got to understand he's the Bitcoin king, and he'll pay you in Bitcoins. And he has a lot of friends that will send them to you. So just remember.
We'll look it up on the internet later, Eric.
Yeah.
What the heck are Bitcoin?
Look,
Right
earn
after-
some V-Bucks. Maybe that's from Nicole, not
This is
from
going to be way before your time. This is when your mom and I were kids.
I have an Atari too.
He has one.
Ah,
I have an Atari literally right upstairs.
you have the original one or a
No.
newer one?
No,
Yeah.
it's a newer
He
version.
has one of those ones that comes with all the games loaded on it, and
Yeah.
the joystick doesn't work, and it's just a nightmare.
I remember my
The
original
billion-
Atari came with Palm. So there's the Bitcoin sign. There you go, Eric.
I know what it is.
We'll look it up.
Then Paula's chiming in. A Game
I
Boy.
have the Game Boy.
Oh, right. I
I
remember the Game Boy.
I used to watch on the history of video
Was-
games, and that was like a while ago.
What was the Game Boy? Was that
It was like the
was
little
that the handheld?
Yeah, it was the handheld.
Yeah, the handheld.
Yeah.
Was it a Nintendo thing or something?
Yeah, it was a Nintendo thing. It was just a handheld one. So,
Yeah.
It's like a handheld thing, and you just put the game in.
oh, right.
Eric's always like, if I tell him he can't have a game or screens or something, he's like, it's so boring here. I was like, boring? We had an hour of TV a week, and it was family TV. We're watching the Cosby Show or something.
And
it was a family thing.
Then I said this: is it when you're a kid or when I'm a kid?
He's always like, you're just jealous because you didn't get to do all the stuff. I'm like, your head's gonna turn into mush.
He's outsmarting you, Kelly. He's giving you the answers.
I get it.
Why don't you tell everyone what you built last week
What do you mean?
up in your playroom?
Oh yeah, I built my own desk. I built a chair that goes with it, and if Mom gets me a bunk bed, I'll build that.
So there you go. You're going to be a facilities guy when you get older. Be in the
I
lead.
built a lot, to be honest.
That's
That's me and my
His
dad's
poppy.
thing.
That's what
Yep.
his Poppy was, a facilities guy. My Poppy was facilities guy. That's what Nick does.
Cool.
He runs, he manages everything pretty much. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You get to travel a lot too. Well, thank you. It's a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun. We have some really cool, interesting buildings that I work with. So it's kind of fun stuff. There's a couple there. Philadelphia has some in Pittsburgh. So we have some vending machines there. So
Hold on. Do you know what he does? Stop reading the comments. Hold on. He's reading the. So, do you know he works for a company called Carvana, and do you know that they have, what do they call them? Vending machines. They're
our vending machines. Yeah.
they're huge. You know, like a vending machine you get a snack out of.
Yeah.
You can get cars out of this one.
It's be like the size of my house times 6.
Oh, they're like 7, 8 stories, 9 stories tall.
What
Yeah.
do they do? What is that about? How does that work?
So what it does is you can't go there and buy it. You've already bought the car online, and they give you a option if you want it delivered to your house, or do you want it to have it come out of the vending machine if there's one close to you. So you go there, and it's they do a nice little presentation. They give you a coin, and you put it in the slot, and it makes like a slot machine noise, and it plays all this little music. And what it does is it programs in. They know what car, where to go get it. So what it does, it's like an elevator. It goes up, it comes and grabs your car, brings it back down, puts it in one of the 2 receiving bays. And before COVID hit, they'd put balloons and they decorate the car all up and do all that stuff. But at the moment, we're kind of not doing that, but we'll get back to it. But the people's graduation presents, what they would do is they would decorate it all up like in the college they're going to, or if they graduate from college, they get all the decor and stuff from the college that they graduated from, and Army stuff. They did them all up for military people, so it's kind of cool because when you buy it, the advocates who talk to you will actually start talking to you to try to get to know your story. So if there's something we can do to give with the car, that's what they try to do to make it a good customer experience. So it's interesting. It is really
I'll show him pictures
When I turn
online.
17,
It's really cool.
It'll be a fun time.
yeah.
No, we're not getting you a car. You're gonna save for your car.
I already have like $1,000. I can buy a cheap car.
$1,000.
I can buy a used cheap car.
Buy a jalopy. Poppy would say a jalopy. Break down.
Jalopy.
You hear that? I don't know if my dad was the only one that says that.
No. Jalopies. That's an East Coast thing. So my dad's family's from New York. So yeah, we've heard all kinds of crazy stuff growing up. So
funny stuff. We make up our own words out here. We also have accents, the Philly accent. It's so embarrassing when someone's like, "Are you from Philly?" I'm like, "Oh, yes."
My dad's been in Washington for close to 50 years. And he still has an accent, and every once in a while, certain words, and it's so East Coast. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. I know Philly's we're a little rough. New York's like a little bit harder.
Hey, Philly threw snowballs and stuff at Santa Claus at a football game one year, so that's all I gotta say. Philly's a little rough too.
We're
we got food off the field.
We are so rough. Like sports, we're such crazy sports fans. And when our teams are losing, we like scream and we're like, they suck. But if you say they suck, oh man, you're done. You are done. Don't say that to us.
Don't say that.
Those are fighting words.
Hey, I was nice to you last year when the Seahawks played the Eagles. So I stayed really nice on that one. So
I have that game.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I'll play that game. I gotta
say this real quick. I gotta say hi. Hi, Krista. Krista is my wife's really good childhood friend. So that's how I know Rod, and Rod's dating her. So that's how we know each other. So it's really cool. So my wife and Krista go back, 30 plus years. So really cool.
Is Jody like happy not to work? Or is she bored?
I mean, who wouldn't be happy not to work? But no, she is. She's doing really good with it. It's really helping her out because she spent 20 plus years getting up like at 2:30 in the morning and working on concrete floors in like 33, 34 degree weather. It beat her body up. She never got really good sleep. And now she hasn't fully got to the right sleeping habits yet, but she's getting better. She's sleeping better. She's got more energy. She's able to work out, so she's feeling a lot better. So I mean, it's working out really well. So that's awesome for her. So I'm happy for her because, her health, get that all up and going, so
yeah,
she needed to have that. She works such crazy hours for so long. It's just insane.
Every time you talk about your move or I think about your move, I always think like how sweet that you're so worried about her. Like you just you would always say to me, I just want to move, then she doesn't have to work. It's like you just really appreciate her. That's very clear.
Oh, she's absolutely great wife, great partner, great best friend. I mean, it's just I'm very fortunate to be in the situation I'm in, and I just thank God every day for it that we cross paths because we met at a place neither one of us were never at before. We never went there. We didn't want to go there. It just happened. We ran into each other, and pretty much from that day forward, it's been her and I. It's been crazy.
Where did you meet? And why were you there?
We met at a little bar, and she was going out with with one of her best friends just for a girl night, and then first place they went to was full, next place they went to was full, next place they went to was full. So they ended up at this place. I was coming back from a softball, what do they call it? Super draft. So I was coming home. My buddy called me. He's like, come out for a couple beers. I'm like, no, I'm tired. I'm going home. And he called me a couple words I probably can't say over the podcast. And I'm finally, okay, he twisted my arm and went out there and bam, met Jody.
Oh.
So, and then it was funny. We're in the parking lot. This is a funny story. I go, hey, what's your number? And she gave it to me. And I called her right away. She's like, you're calling me. I'm like, yeah, make sure it's not a fake number.
Like right in front of her, you called it?
Yep.
That's awesome, Nick. Right.
Good stuff. But no, we've, pretty much a week later from that, we've seen each other pretty much every day and haven't been apart really. So it's been really awesome. It's been a good story, and great partner. Like I said, just, we have a really good relationship, and that's key because we respect each other. And, she talks a lot about me, with my job and what I do to people, and I really appreciate it because she tells me
proud of you
how hard I work, and I believe, yes, how she says she's proud of me. Yes. And, it's nice to know that, nice to know you have support. I've moved her across the state. I've moved her across the West Coast. And, she didn't have to agree to any of this stuff. She did it all for my job career to get me going, to make sure, I had what I needed to get to the next level of my career. So I'm very thankful for all that. So
yeah, that's what it takes. It takes a supportive partner. You have to have that.
Yeah. So it's really cool, and I support her what she's doing now. I want her to be this. And, we always said, it's the nice thing about it is if she ever got bored and she wanted to go back to work, she didn't have to press for a certain wage or anything. Just go find something that you really, really like and enjoy, not worrying about it because,
yeah,
that company's been very good to me and they're taking care of me well. And I'm very appreciative towards that. So we stay very humble about that, and be, we thank God every day because everything can be gone tomorrow. It really can be. So, we got to learn how to stay grounded, humbled, and just be appreciative for everything that's happened and just make sure you do what you need to do to get everything done. So,
and look at what happened with COVID. Like a lot of people did have jobs disappear and things were gone the next day. And that's,
I was scared when COVID hit because when they, my company, when they said we're going home, then we're going to go home for a couple of weeks. We're going to work from home. Okay. Yeah. And I was only at work for 4 days. So I was like, okay. Then after that, then it just hit up big time down here. They're like, oh, we're going to stay home till further notice. And then then they're like, oh, we're talking about maybe cutting hours and doing this. I was like, I'm brand new. I'm a higher paid position. I could be the first one they let go because they never had my position before. So it's not like my thought process was, oh, they haven't had it before. They don't need it. They got along without it for a while. So I was kind of worried there for a while just because, but very fortunate. Must be doing stuff right. So
it can be scary. It can be scary, but your point of like having something and it be taken away. And same thing with, it's the same thing I always say to people when people come to me and they're like, well, I've got this job. I could do some consulting or someone wants to pay me hourly, but it's not really, they're worried about it not being like a long-term thing or a guarantee. And I always say to them, like any job it's not a guarantee. It doesn't matter, right? Oh, you're so sweet. Every time I see Paula, like her name pop up or something, I always tell her this. I have this like, oh. I just love her. She's just a doll. She's just a good heart. She's like the feel good. You want to feel good? You talk to her,
She likes my bright colored shirts I've worn in the past, and
yeah,
she reminds me that she likes my bright colored shirts. So I'm like, okay, cool.
What was it? Bright blue, or was it the green or something?
At first it was the salmon one, then it was the lime green one. Yes, because I was down here in Phoenix at a conference when I did my first couple videos ever for LinkedIn, and I did them from down here, and we just, I don't know if we connected yet or we're just, part of Iris Follow Me Friday thing, but I remember she just put on, that's a sweet color shirt. I love that shirt. And then I threw a shout out in the video the next day wearing the bright green one. And then I want to say, God, right before we went on the podcast with Paula, she brought it up again. Are you going to wear that salmon colored shirt? And I was like, damn, you remember all that?
I know. Well, I remember when she was on and Ron, they came together that she brought it up again. The salmon. I love the salmon color. I think it's so funny that someone describes something like so vividly.
It's working out better because I'm starting to tan a lot more being down here in the sun all the time. So really compliment me better now, I guess, when I wear it. So
it's so funny.
Yeah, there's Paula being herself.
She's so cute.
So good times, and I just want to say, this whole LinkedIn thing and everything has been a really awesome journey, and you and I have connected with some really awesome people, and we've actually built some really cool relationships with some really cool people that we really stick to, and I think both of us, we really leverage them and they leverage us too. And it's just great.
Yeah.
Nobody's scared to ask each other a question. They know everybody's there. They know they're not going to be judged. So that's the greatest thing. It's just a great group of friends. That's the way I look at it now. You're not LinkedIn people, you're friends.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it great. It's just, it's been a big thing. So one thing I want to ask before we getting close to the end here is, so with your businesses and everything that's going on right now with you recruiting stuff, and now we're getting to the point with COVID where it kind of looks like we're over that hump where, okay, people are going back to work, people want to open up, people are doing this. So have you seen any more business for you, or at least more conversations with companies and everything? And how's that going?
Yeah, it's interesting. So I've seen a lot of, so what happened in the beginning of COVID is everything stopped, right? Because everyone was just like, we don't know what's going to go on. We don't know what's happening. They were very uncomfortable because they didn't know what to expect. And then as the months went, it was quiet. And then I started feeling a lot more movement, right? Because people started to innovate. They're pushed and forced to innovate, what they want to do with their company, how they're going to hire, how they're going to readjust, even people that were out and like motivational speakers and things like that. They're now doing it behind video. I mean, think about that. They can't charge as much. They can get more people maybe, and not, you know what I mean? Like, so they can get a bigger audience. But there's so many different changes for so many different types of businesses that people had to really innovate and figure out. So once they started doing that, I could feel a ramp because people started thinking about hiring differently. And so we've had some really cool kind of different projects with different clients that are unique. They're different. People are hiring. It depends on what the jobs are too. Sometimes the jobs aren't jobs that were really needed, and some were like in demand. Like there are companies that are hiring like crazy. They cannot get enough people, but it's all different types of people. They're also hiring differently. So they might be hiring contractors. They might be worried about hiring full-time employees, or they might just be hiring more of a remote workforce. Like Facebook, right, said that they were going to go and hire remote workforce, and what they were going to do is, Kelly, we're hiring you, and because you're in Philadelphia, here's your salary. So it's not going to be the salaries, so we lose that because we're here. But I have the opportunity to work at home at my own desk. They'll set me up at home. I don't have to commute. I don't have to pay gas. So I think that is that's happening more and more and more. And people that were opposed to work at home, like you're not going to work at home. This is a culture where you're in the office. We don't like to work at home. They've now figured it out, and they've seen how productive they can be. And so they'll change their mind a little bit about that. You still need the interaction if you can have it. You still need that. That's really important. But people figured out how to do it.
I'm a people person, and I tell you, I hate working from home. I'm not gonna lie. It just drives me nuts. I mean, it just really does. But it is what it is. It's what we're at right now in the world. So you just got to adapt to it. But I don't care for it. And I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do, or work from home or anything. But some people, that's their cup of tea. Some people, it's not. That's just how it is. But in your instance now with your company now, this is where they really need they can really leverage on you, or really need you more now, especially they have to really trust you that you're bringing the right people in if they're going to be working from home, because they might meet these people, maybe once in person, even before, if this even happens, so a lot of times you're just hiring over Zoom videos, and they're starting at their house, and we'll mail you your equipment, crazy stuff. So
so that is where my company can shine, and bad recruiters are just, it's not going to work, right? They're going to be exposed. So my company can shine more because we really, really are trying to make a difference, and they can see that from remote people. We're doing it even though we're remote. So it's different than we will stand out. We do stand out. So It's good though. I don't mind it. You know me, I like working at home. I'm an introvert, so I'd rather work at home. I know you're crawling out of your skin. You just want to get out.
Yeah, I go into the office right now. There's only like 30 people in there, and there's out of 1,500. So I mean, it's like a ghost town.
Still
I
not
just,
good for you, right?
every once in a while, a couple team members will come in, and then I'll take them to lunch and everything. But it's weird when they come in the office. We even get even more done. It's just crazy because unfortunately our whole schedules are filled with Zoom calls and all this stuff. So it's like sometimes you don't get a really good rhythm going because it's like call after call after call. And it's like, dude, this is Zoom fatigue. Come on now. But it's hard because, but then at the same time, it all depends on the industry and where you work. Because look, I'm dealing with 144 properties and there's 9,000 people in my company.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's at any given time, the position I'm in, I'll just get a random call or random, hey, we need to jump on a Zoom to talk about this, or just from somebody I don't even know who they are because there's 9,000 people. It's impossible for me to know everybody, and I got to look them up in our system. I'm like, who's this person?
Right.
Because I'm still fairly new to the company. So it's like,
Well,
and I'm dealing with people all over the country, not just Arizona, I mean, I want to say 60% of my properties are on the East Coast. So, it's getting those emails and dings and texts like at 3, 4 in the morning because they don't realize you're based out of Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, people, I'm out of Arizona.
Yeah.
That's where you just put it on silent and just.
What's the travel like? Still like quiet?
My travel's been going a lot. I'm quiet right now. I just got back from a trip, about a week and a half ago. So when I go out for a week. I hit multiple properties. I just went to, where was I? I went to Tennessee. I went to Arkansas. I went to, God, I can't remember where I went. I go to so many places. Ohio. I was up in Ohio at 2 different properties there. So
when are you coming here?
I don't know. There's no need for me to go there right now, to be honest with you. The properties are doing pretty well, actually. So I only go when there's issues. So we did have an issue out there. You guys had a big lightning storm in Pittsburgh. It hit our vending machine and fried all our controllers on the inside. So it was like, whoa. That was a quick fix over the weekend. That was very expensive. So so I'm adding additional stuff to the electrical service so that doesn't happen again.
Where are they? Where are they out here?
In Pittsburgh. We got Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. We have a lot in Philly.
You do?
Yeah, it's just a lot. You wouldn't even know it's Carvana. It's just we keep those kind of hidden because we don't want people to know it's us, so they don't try to steal our cars. So because we get a lot of cars stolen. So
really?
Oh God, I can't get into it on this stuff, but I'm not gonna put it out to the world. But it's there's a lot more to our company than a lot of people just think we're the vending machine, and we are way more than that. We have properties anywhere from 1,000 square feet up to 250,000 square feet on over 130 acres. So and those are usually out in remote areas because the land's a lot cheaper. So, you can do stuff like that. But like I was at one of those properties when I visited Joe. I was at one of those properties when I was able to see Jordan. I was at one of those properties when I saw Erica. So Erica and Peter, the Warhammer. So, so I mean, it's good. I think my next trip is to Vegas because we're opening a vending machine in Vegas, and that should be.
I've never been to Vegas. Have you been?
What? Oh, I live on the West Coast. Yes.
I've never been to Vegas.
Kelly, I used to work in casinos. Where do you think our Mecca was? Yeah. So, all our gaming conventions were in Vegas. So, and then I think my trip after that in November is going to be to Miami and Orlando. So I have nothing really planned out right now, which is kind of nice on that aspect.
Yeah.
But like my last trip was kind of like, okay, we got this coming up. You got to be out in a couple weeks. I'm like, okay, that's kind of how it works. And it's all right. I mean, If we have some big issues, like security issues or something, I'll go meet the security team out there and we'll go over what we need to do to get it fixed and get it taken care of if it's a big time issue. So yeah.
You don't mind the travel. You like to see people and meet people.
I don't mind to travel. It'll be nice when my wife's able to start going with just some of the places we go to. I'm like, you don't want to go there, because we're just out, and I don't mean this in a bad way. Some of the places are just out in the sticks. They're just out there, and there's nothing to do. She'll sit in a hotel room and be bored, and especially with COVID going on, can't go to a pool because all the pools are closed, all the restaurants are closed inside the hotels. I mean, it's just going to the hotel is just going there and sleeping. You really can't do a lot more. Some of them are starting to slowly open things depending on what state you go to. Like in Memphis, they had the pool open, but no restaurants or anything in there. And I'm like, I think it'd be the opposite, but whatever. Yeah. Then you go to places like Dallas, and it was just everything was shut. I mean, the hotel stuff, everything was shut down except for the rooms. You don't get room service. I mean, if you need new towels, you ask them for it. They won't even come and serve your room right now.
Yeah, we did that. Nicole and I took our kids. We went to the beach a couple times, and that's exactly what happens. They won't redo your room unless you ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to kind of come get them.
I've never been to Vegas, but she wants to go see Elvis. So
let's all meet in Vegas.
We're like 5 hours from Vegas, 5-hour drive, so we're pretty close. So.
I'm a 5-hour flight.
At least a 5-hour flight, yes. But the Vegas airport's a nice, easy airport to get through, so it's a nice thing. It's not huge, so
I'm sure there's cocktails flowing right away.
Oh God! Right when you get off the plane, there's slot machines and bars. I mean, it's just crazy. And then you're like 5 or 6 minutes from the Strip. It's a fast Uber ride over there.
Oh, that's really fun.
Because when you land, if you land the right direction, the whole Strip's on the one side of you when you're landing, when you're going into Vegas. So it's really cool looking. So especially if you're flying at night, it's really cool. It's all lit up and everything. So good times. My wife and I go there. We were there in January. So, but yeah, we go there 2 or 3 times a year probably because I have gaming conventions or facility management. Everybody wants to go to Vegas for their conventions. So I mean, you just go there and bring the wife, have a good time, And
we have nice hotels, right? Pools, like all kinds of things to do. Restaurants. Yeah. I mean, that's.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I literally can go there and spend more money doing other things but gambling and have a great time.
Yeah.
So it's, no, we've enjoyed it there. So we're close. We thought we'd go there a lot more but with COVID, and then our oldest daughter lives in, just north of San Diego, so it's kind of on the drive there too. So it's like, oh, we can stop in Vegas for a night, then go up and see her, So, but we'll do that at some point when California opens up. We just gotta wait till after the first of the year, probably. So whatever.
Yeah, when the return to work happens.
Absolutely. So Kelly, thank you for being on the show. We're gonna wrap up because I always say these are only supposed to go a half hour, and once again we are. I've never had one close to a half hour. In my mind, they're supposed to go a half hour, but that's what happens when you have an unscripted show.
I know, fun.
It just goes whatever. So, Kelly, really quick, tell everybody where they can find you, what social media sites you're on, and how they can get a hold of you. Yeah.
LinkedIn, that's my jam. I mean, I'm on other sites, but I don't really interact there. So LinkedIn really is where it is. Or, of course, my website, pannaknows.com.
Awesome. Guys, go find Kelly. Go find her on LinkedIn. Great connection. She will follow you. She'll connect with you, and she'll engage in some great conversations. So
Nick was my first friend. You were my first friend on LinkedIn.
Was I?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I told you before. You were the first person. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a friend. It's like
a friend. Okay, I'm not like a connection. Okay, yes. Like a friend. I got you.
Yes, and then I was like, this is so nice. So anyway.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because we had a nice conversation because I try to solicit you with my resume to get me a job.
Damn your resume.
How's that work? So great. So guys, really quick, you can find the All Things Gratitude podcast. We have a LinkedIn page, but I check it every once in a while. I'm not good at it because running 2 pages is tough. You can find us on YouTube. like my friend Erica says, smash the bell for us. That's awesome. So go check that out. You can find us on LinkedIn also. Come follow my personal page. I love it. We have a really good time, so I want to thank everybody who commented tonight and came on. We will share this post tomorrow morning again. So Kelly, thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Eric, if you're still around there. We appreciate the cameo.
He went upstairs.
He's playing video games, so it's all good. Minecraft. So
yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Nick. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, and really appreciate it. Everybody, have a great night. All Things Gratitude podcast is going to take about a week and a half, because we just got our backyard landscape, and we're going to enjoy it with the family for a little bit. So before the pool season's over with, because it's starting to get cold here. It hit 100 degrees. It's starting to get cold. So we have to
hurry up.
Yeah, we got to hurry up and get in the pool, because the pool's only around 83 degrees, and that's like freezing cold around here. So, we got to take advantage of the next couple weeks. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.